Hi, my name is Julie and I'm a teacher here at Sangha Studio. Today we're going to be doing an inversion flow. So we'll do a nice general flow with extra preparations to prepare our body for arm balances and inversions. So the word inversion means anytime our hips are elevated over our heart or over our heads. And inversions can bring up a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety. So before we go right into the practice, we'll just take a couple moments to ground. So find a comfortable seat. You can kneel, you can sit cross-legged. Also, I sit up near a wall, which I suggest or recommend you doing if you have the space. If not, totally fine as well. So comfortable seat, place your hands face down on your thighs. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can close your eyes. And just take a nice deep breath in. And let a nice full sigh release out of the mouth. And then breathe into the belly. And breathe all the way up into the chest, all the way up into the crown of the head. And let a nice full sigh release. And feel the ground beneath you, supporting your legs, your hips. And whenever you feel ready, you can flutter your eyes open, and we'll get started in tabletop. So you'll stack hands right underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips. And we'll actually start in a neutral spine. So if you want to cat-cow for a moment, you can. We'll get there in a moment. We're going to warm up the wrists. So keep your fingers on the mat, and on your inhale, just lift the heels of your hands, and on your exhale, place them back down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. You can speed it up a little bit so it's less synced with the breath. That's okay, but we're just warming up the forearms. Up, down, 2 more times, and let it go. And you'll take your fingers to face your knees. If that's accessible for you, you could also take your fingers to face more the sides of your mat. And then we'll start our cats and cows. So on the inhale, belly drops, chest lifts. On your exhale, round and curl the spine. And again, inhale, belly drops, chest lifts. Exhale, round and curl. 2 more times. Inhale, arching the spine, gazing up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Once more. Inhale, open. Exhale to gather in. For a moment, just sit the hips back onto the heels and give your arms a little shake, and really let the wrist shake a little bit. And then we'll find our way to downward facing dog. So you'll tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, lengthening the backs of the legs. You can give your feet a little pedal out. And then when you're ready, lift the heels up nice and high, so you're on the ball mounds of the feet. On the exhale, drop the heels, bend the knees a little bit, push the floor away. Again, inhale, heels high. And exhale, heels fall, bend the knees. Once more, inhale, heels high. Exhale, heels fall, gaze forwards. Inhale, plank pose, shoulders stack over wrists. Exhale, just lower the knees to the mat, so upper body's still in plank. On the inhale, expand the chest. On your exhale, elbows hug in. You're just lowering halfway down, maybe even a quarter of the way down. Inhale, push the floor away. Belly's still hugging in. On the exhale, lower halfway down. Once more, inhale all the way up. This time we're lowering all the way onto the belly. And on your inhale, start to lift the chest. You can hover the hands away from the mat. Sometimes it's nice to give the head a little nod side to side. And just make sure you're not holding any unnecessary tension in the neck or the jaw. And then hands ground, chest rises one more time, breathe in. Lower the forehead to the ground and make your way all the way back to downward facing dog. And then you'll heavy some weight into the left foot and reach your right leg high for 3-legged dog. Engage the right glute to reach the right leg higher. Take a nice full breath in. And then on your exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Shift the shoulders forwards like plank pose. And you'll swing it right back up, 3-legged down dog, breathe in. And then you're stepping your foot between the hands on the breath out. And then you can tent up on the fingerprints just for a little bit more space. On the inhale, lengthen the spine. On your exhale, rock the hips back, lengthen front leg. You have the option to flex the front foot if you'd like. And inhale, come forwards into a lunge. Exhale to rock back. And once more, inhale to rock forwards. This time on your exhale, hug your outer hips together like you're trying to squeeze your inner thighs together. Sweep your arms back beside you, chest reaches forwards. From here, reach your arms out in front of you. Full breath in. Full breath out. You're staying here. Turn the palms to face down towards the ground and then flex your wrist like you're pushing the wall away from you. Full breath in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Left leg high. Engage left glute to lift the leg. Right, so it's not the hip, it's the glute. Full breath in. Bring your knee towards your nose, hover, lift the belly. Swing it up and back, three-legged down dog, breathe in. And then this time you're stepping your foot between your thumbs on the exhale. You can tent up on the fingerprints. If you have blocks, this is also a nice place for blocks. On the inhale, chest rises. And then on the exhale, hip shift back, front leg long, maybe the foot flexes. Inhale, rocking forwards into your lunge. Exhale, rocking back, front leg long. Last time, inhale forwards into your lunge. Exhale, outer hips hug together. Arms sweep back, palms face down, chest reaches forwards. So we're now engaging the back body as well as the front body. Belly's hugging in. Start to reach your arms forwards alongside your ears. Palms face the floor and then flex the wrists and really push the air away. Big breath in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. On your inhale, come forwards to plank pose. This time, exhale, it could be chaturanga or all the way to the mat, elbows hugging in towards your ribs. Inhale to upward facing dog, could also be baby cobra. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, we're gonna find a forward bend at the back of your mat. So walk your hands back towards your toes and let yourself just hang over the legs. Good. You can give your head a little nod, yes and no, if you'd like. Maybe a flutter of the lips, which I won't do, just to spare you the sound in the microphone. And then we're gonna do a funny little walk towards the front of the mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can get your hands on the mat. And then for a moment, we'll just do a little cat-cow with the spine. So on the inhale, chest moves forwards, gaze forwards. And then on the exhale, like you're getting a little punch in the belly, lift the navel around the spine. Inhale, belly drops, look forwards. Exhale, around the spine. One more, inhale, look forwards, and then keep looking forward, lift the lower belly. You're gonna get to the mat by walking your hands first, your feet second. Inhale, hands. Exhale, jump both feet to the hands. Hands, exhale, feet. Inhale, hands, exhale, feet. All the way to the front of your mat. Half lift when you get there, breathe in. Try not to knock your head into the wall. Fold forwards. Breathe out. And again, half lift, inhale, knees can soften. Fold forwards, breathe out. This time you're rising all the way to stand. Nice big breath in, reach to the ceiling. Hands to heart, arms by your sides. We'll take one round of sun salutations. On your inhale, arms high. On your exhale, fold forwards. Half lift, breathing in. Bend your knees, place your hands. You can step back to plank if you'd like, or a soft jump back, landing with soft elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Now in your down dog, walk the feet a little closer to your hands. Bend the knees, and you should almost feel your belly on your thighs. And it's okay if it's not totally there. And then from there, lift your heels up super high. Bend the knees a little bit more. Look between your hands. Take a full breath in. And then you have 3 little donkey kicks. So you're just going to think of kicking your butt. Inhale. And then on your exhale, 3 times. Heels to butt. And feet to hands. Let it go. You can give yourself a little shake out. Whatever happened, happened. You're here now. Big breath in. Big breath out. Rise all the way to stand. Nice big inhale as you reach to the ceiling. Chair pose on your exhale. Sit hips low, chest is reaching high. Low belly's hugging in a little bit. Big breath in. Sit a little bit deeper on the exhale. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, sit a little lower. Now start to reach the arms out in front of you. Start to let the knees open. Trust that the ground is beneath you. Breathe in. On your exhale, lower all the way down to boat pose or Navasana. And for a moment, just to give your body a little bit of a rest, bring your hands behind your thighs and see if you can just find the very front edge of the sitting bones. Good. Okay. Now, in your boat pose, bring the feet together and widen the knees. And then you'll start to bring your arms to connect to the knees, flex your wrists, and we're seated in crow pose, right? So you'll take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, just think of getting a little smaller. Again, inhale. Exhale, get a little smaller. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Come back to boat pose. Option to grow it. Maybe lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. Good. And then when you're ready, you can bring the feet down for a moment. We're gonna rock back up to chair pose. So just make sure the space behind you is clear so you don't hit anything. And then you'll give yourself a little rock and roll. Maybe you even hover in boat pose. The next time you rock back, big breath in, and back to chair pose. And it's okay if it wasn't totally graceful. You'll take a big breath in. On the exhale, diver's pose. Sweep your arms back beside you, palms face down, chest is reaching forwards, and maybe the heels rise. It's also totally okay for the knees to be soft. So you'll take a big inhale. As you breathe out, start to bend your knees more. Heels are together, knees start to open. Lower your hands. You don't have to hold yourself up there. Round the spine, and we're coming to crow pose. So you'll bend the elbows, knees can fit onto the upper arms, they can wrap around, or they can fit right into your armpits. Look forwards, and then just start to shift your weight into your hands. All right, so you can rock forwards and back a couple times. Maybe when you rock forwards the next time, you can start to lift your heels towards your seat. And whenever you feel ready, we'll meet back in down dog. You can put the feet down and step right back. If you'd like to try a jump back to chaturanga, you'll send the chest forwards as you kick the legs back. So you'll breathe in and exhale, chaturanga. Okay. So just take a moment to reset for yourself. You can pedal the feet a little bit. And we'll take a couple standing poses and then move on. So full breath in. Full breath out. You'll lift the right leg high on an inhale, and then step the right foot between your hands on your exhale. Little tiny bend in the back knee, and then you'll rise up, crescent lunge. Full breath in, full breath out. Good, one more big breath in. On your exhale, we'll find warrior two. Right away, begin to lengthen your front leg. Reach forwards. If there's a wall in front of you, you're reaching to the wall. And then lower right hand down, left arm high, triangle pose. And just feeling length underneath the front hamstring. Make sure you're not locking in the knee. You can do that by really pushing the foot into the mat. Good, and when you're ready, start to reach the left arm overhead. Begin to soften your front knee, and you're coming back to three-legged down dog. So hands come to the ground, come to the ball of the back foot, and reach your back leg up. Reach your right leg up and back. Good. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, bring knee to nose. Right leg high again, breathe in. Good, exhale, knee to nose. One more time, right leg up and back. This time, you're gonna hop your left foot a little closer to your hands. Look between your hands. You're on the ball of your left foot. If you'd like, you have a couple handstand hops here. So you'll take a breath in, look between your thumbs, and on the exhale, just think of pushing off of your bottom foot. So I'm gonna inhale, and then exhale, push. Inhale, exhale, push. And then maybe, if you have a wall there, right, you can always touch the wall, play for a moment, and we meet back in down dog. Optional vinyasa there if you want. And we'll move on to the left side. The left leg rises. Step it between your hands. Back knee softens just a little bit. Rise up, crescent lunge. And take a moment to settle in. Big breath in. Peel it open, warrior two. Lengthen front leg, reach forwards. Triangle pose. Again, just check in that left quad is engaged. Tailbone's reaching back, chest is reaching forward. Top arm reaches overhead. Soften your left knee, hands frame your left foot. And then hands plant, left leg reaches up and back, three-legged down dog. Inhale. Knee to nose, breathe out. Again, left leg high, breathe in. Knee to nose, breathe out. You've got one more, left leg high. This time look forward, bend the right leg a little bit, and then at first you're just hopping the foot a little closer to your hands. Look between your hands, inhale. On the exhale, push off of your right foot, little handstand hop. You got 2 or 3, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 if you're really going for it, but be gentle to your body there. And then whenever you're ready, we meet back in downward facing dog. You'll come forwards to plank pose just for a moment, breathe in. Knees down, hips back, child pose, breathe out. And in this child's pose, really just take a moment for yourself. Sometimes I like to bring my thighs together and reach the arms back. And just is a little softer on the shoulders. Forehead can rest on the ground. And then rise all the way up to sit on your heels for a moment. We'll just take a couple seated cats and cows. So on your inhale, hands draw back towards the hips, chest opens, elbows draw back, chin can lift. And on your exhale, slide the hands forwards, chin to chest. And again, inhale, elbows draw back, gaze lifts. Exhale, chin to chest around the spine. Once more, inhale, front body opens. Exhale, back body opens. And then on your next inhale, sit up nice and tall. And for a moment, let the right ear drop towards right shoulder. And bring chin to chest. And then back up through center. And then left ear over towards left shoulder. Chin to chest. And back up through center. And start to find your way onto your forearms and your knees. So here we're just making sure the elbows are about shoulders distance apart, and you can do that by crossing your arms and just grabbing your own biceps for a moment. And then you'll place the hands in line with the elbows. And you can just cat-cow for a second. So we're gonna start to move towards headstand or Shirsasana A. It's the version of headstand where the hands are clasped behind the head. If you know you want the wall to support you here, you'll just set up a little closer to the wall. I would say about Give yourself like 4 or 5 inches so that you have space to get to the wall. So again, grab opposite biceps and then interlace your hands. So I'm looking to my thumbs for a moment, and then when I exhale, I'm gonna round the spine and place really the top of my head, the crown of my head, on the ground, so my hands just create a little basket behind my head. From here, I'm gonna tuck my toes under, push my elbows into the ground, and start to lift my hips. So I could almost lift my head off the mat. From here, I'm just gonna start to walk my knees towards my chest, and then maybe I'll lift one heel towards my sitting bone, the other heel towards my sitting bone. And if I feel secure, I can lift both heels towards my sitting bones. And my thighs are really close to my belly here. I know that the wall is behind me. And I can stay here. Maybe I start to reach the legs up to the ceiling. And I'm thinking of bringing my inner thighs together, and I'm thinking of really pressing my elbows and forearms into the ground. And you can stay here for as long as it feels comfortable. When you're ready to come out, one knee towards your chest, feet to the floor, child's pose. Again, arms can be forwards. I like to reach the arms back, especially after that one. And just give yourself a chance for the breath to settle, for the energy to calm down. Inversions can be very invigorating, which is amazing. And then whenever you're ready, you'll roll on up, sit your hips over to one side. We'll take a forward fold, again, just to kind of ground our energy. So we'll take Dandasana, staff pose for a moment. Legs are long in front of you. You could also soften the knees so you're nice and high on your sitting bones, and either fingertips to the floor or hands flat if that's accessible. And take a big breath in. Empty all your air out. And then breathe into the belly, the chest. Take a moment to pause. You can tuck the chin in a little bit. And then when you're ready, nice full breath out. This time, arms reach high, nice big breath in. And then you're reaching forwards with a nice long spine, moving into Paschimottanasana, or a seated forward fold. Your spine can stay long. If it feels good to let the spine round and drop the head, you'll drop the head. And now you're welcome to stay in that forward fold for as long as you'd like. Whenever you're ready, you'll rise on up. And then I would suggest laying yourself back to lie down for Shavasana if you have the time. You could also take a moment of seated meditation, but just a moment to be still, to come back to the sensation of your breath, to ground after flying. And thank you so much for practicing with me. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.